Pharaoh Vito, I saw your comment on my video, man, and I feel your pain, dog. Um, to be a Boston Celtic fan and to have you guys play so well during the regular season and to see this happen in the first round, it's very disconcerting, man. I'm a Bulls fan, so I have to tell you, I have a completely different, it's a 180-degree turn in feeling that I have versus yours. I am absolutely, absolutely ecstatic. I mean, for us to play so poorly for most of the season, losing game. I'm not going to sit there and act like, I knew we could do something like this. I'm not. But I've always remembered during the regular season, there were so many games that the Bulls lost. I'm looking at this, looking at the team that we have. And I'm like, why are we losing to these teams? I remember when we beat Golden State, right, at home in that TNT game. And I think at the time we were 35-31. And I was thinking, okay, we can. I think we were 35-31. No, we were 31-30. I take that back. We were 31-30. I think we was. That's what it was. We were 31-30, and we had just moved above 500. I'm like, maybe we can do something now. And then after that, we lose like 5 of our next 6 games. And I'm like, what? And we're losing the teams that we should beat. But for a period of time, like we weren't going to make the playoffs. We made a late 11th-hour push in the regular season. We eked into the playoffs. And right now, the series isn't over by a long shot, okay? Chicago Bulls fans, don't get your hopes up too high. But right now, what we're doing is special, all right? We're 8th seed, up 2-0 against the first seed in the Eastern Conference. This is the first time that an 8th seed has been up 2-0 against the first seed since 1993, when the Los Angeles Lakers, who were the 8th seed in the Western Conference, took a 2-0 lead against the Phoenix Suns in that best of 5 series. Of course, the first round series is now a best of 7. I think they did that sometime in 2003. I think it was when they expanded the first round series to a best of 5, from a best of 5 to a best of 7. Now, to make my point about how we shouldn't jump the gun, of course, in that series in '93, Phoenix went on to win 3 consecutive games. They took that series in 5, 3-2. But, of course, the Boston Celtics are not the Phoenix Suns, okay? That Phoenix Suns team was special. And I still think it's the best Phoenix Sun team in that franchise history. And that includes that 76 team that went to the finals as well. That's just my opinion. What I want to say, earlier on, Boston tried to make a point of being physical and being a force on the glass. And earlier on, Boston had a lead. They were winning. Then Chicago went on a run. Chicago's physicality is killing the Boston Celtics, in particular their front line. Okay, our physicality is winning this series. Just to take a look at the Boston Celtics right quick. All right. First of all, I'm not going to blame Isaiah Thomas one way or the other. When you have to endure a tragedy like that, okay, losing a loved one, especially in that particular manner, when it is unseen, it's not like it's not like his sister had an illness that you could see this coming. He could mentally prepare himself for her death. This is a tragic event. All right, so I don't blame Isaiah Thomas one way, shape, or form. He's not totally 100% there mentally while he's playing. Okay, I understand the mantra that you're a soldier and you're supposed to clear your head. But look, I remember even Charles Barkley saying one time when he was playing basketball and he started thinking about his taxes or some shit like that. Sometimes thoughts creep into your head. So Isaiah Thomas had a good game. Okay, 20 points. All right, didn't shoot that well. He uncharacteristically missed foul shots. Normally, I would criticize him. He was only 7 of 13 from the foul line. This is a guy who shot 90% for the season, 88% of his career. Normally, I would criticize a guy. Y'all God knows I'm a flamethrower. You know that. But I'm not going to criticize him, man, because I know what it's like to lose a loved one, as many of you do. Um, I'm I'm not going to criticize him, okay? I'm not going to do it. The other people on the team, especially Al Horford, okay, 7 points. Okay, you were big on the boards, 11 rebounds. You get credit for that. But 7 points is unacceptable. Al Horford has to become a little bit more selfish. Isaiah Thomas may not be right now, okay? Let him grieve, okay? They haven't even, if I'm mistaken, they haven't even buried his sister yet. Let him grieve. He's not going to be right until probably the next round if they make it that far. I have to take over offensively, okay? I have to everybody's not Michael Jordan, okay? Michael could will himself to everybody's not Jordan, okay? Al Horford, to me, has to be more selfish. That's it. He's the guy that was the most heralded coming player, of the before the season started. He was the guy that was the most heralded. I think Al Horford has to become a little bit more selfish offensively. That's just me. Now, Boston, once again, lost the Battle of the Glass, 43-38. Did a better job, but in particular, they are getting killed on the offensive glass. Okay? That's unacceptable. Like I said, Boston didn't actually shoot bad. It's just that Chicago is getting extra possessions because they're beating them on the glass, especially on the offensive glass. All right. For the Chicago Bulls, Bobby Portis did not have a great game. He had a tremendous game one. He had 19 points coming off the bench. Tonight he only had 3 points, so Boston did a better job of shutting him down. But Paul Zipser was the guy who came off the bench in game two. So one of the keys for game three, Boston has to nullify Chicago's bench. They have to nullify Chicago's bench, in my opinion, and they have to make Chicago's starters beat them. And when you look at guys like Wade and Rondo, who, especially Wade, but Rondo's getting a little older too, got to kind of have to play these guys more, have to rely more on those guys. And Wade isn't the same guy. Like, Wade of 2009 could single-handedly take over a game. He's not that guy anymore. Okay, Wade is 35 years old. He's not that guy anymore. He's an old 35 too, by the way, just because of the way that he played the game. You could tell when he was younger. If you guys who are a little bit younger and don't remember Wade when he was in his prime, like if you're teenagers, Wade was a slashing, driving, he had the mentality to an extent of a Westbrook. He would drive, he was a slashing, driving player. That's the type of player he was, okay? Didn't particularly like the three-point shot. Didn't take many three-pointers. That was generally his game. In his prime, he was putting up 27 to 30 points a game. But Wade had a good game tonight. 22 points, 9 of 16 shooting. 3 or 4 from three-point range. This is a guy who's not normally a great three-point shooter. Rondo almost had a triple-double tonight. 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 14 assists. 5 steals, too. A tremendous game by Rajon Rondo. Robin Lopez had a strong game. Once again, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Okay, Jimmy Butler, the man, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. Brook Lopez had 2 steals too. Um, Excellent defensive job by the Chicago Bulls. Miritek, 13 points. All right, hit 3 of 9 from 3-point range. Not great, but okay. 7 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jimmy Butler also had 2 blocks. Stellar performance by Jimmy Butler. Um, Chicago is on the verge of doing something special, man. Boston has to play with a tremendous sense of urgency in Game 3. Game 3, to me, can determine this series. Not to say that if Boston wins Game 3, they're going to win this series, but I can see it going to 6 to 7 games. Still, possibly. Okay, if Boston wins Game 3. If Chicago wins Game 3, you can stick a fork in it. It's done. It's over. No NBA teams come back from a 3-0 deficit. To my recollection, only one team has ever forced a Game 7 after being down 3, and that was the Portland Trailblazers years ago. Might have been 2003, who forced a Game 7 to the Dallas Mavericks after being down 3-0, wound up losing the series 4-3. It was almost a miraculous comeback. But this team right here, if they lose Game 3, talking about the Boston Celtics, this will be one of the most embarrassing playoff exits in NBA history. And that's no hyperbole. This will be one of the most embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing playoff exits in NBA history. Even if it goes 7 games, a first seed should never lose to an 8th seed. Never. Boston has to step up. Like I said, I'm not going to put too much blame. I get it. You know, you look at Isaiah Thomas, only 7 of 13 from the foul line, but I just can't blame him right now. He's not right. He's not mentally right. Okay, psychologically, he's not all the way there. Okay, so other guys, in particular, in my opinion, Al Horford has to step up. Al Horford in Game 3 has to ask for at least 20 shots. He has to shoot the ball 20 times at least, in my opinion. That's just me. He has to be selfish. Okay, but tell me what you guys think.